Edison, Tony Stark's smartest golden retriever, was acting differently that night. The dog seemed to see something no one else could see. He stood in the corner of the laboratory, constantly staring at the same spot and growling softly. Tony thought it was just dog behavior until he saw the Geiger counter start shaking frantically. In his private laboratory on the basement level of his massive villa in Malibu, Tony Stark was working until midnight. Holographic screens danced around him, constantly talking with AFRIDAY, developing new arc reactor technology. This would be a clean energy solution, not just for himself, but for the entire world. Beside him stood his usual companion, Edison. The 4-year-old Golden Retriever was a special dog that Tony had adopted from a charity 3 years ago. Edison wasn't an ordinary pet. He had been trained by an animal psychologist who graduated from MIT and scored the highest among dogs in IQ tests. Friday, increase nanoparticle density by 15%, said Tony, manipulating the holographic reactor model. Yes, sir, replied the AI. However, there will be a 23% increase in energy output. Edison was in his usual place, to the right of Tony's work desk, his eyes always following his owner's movements, perking up his ears at every sound change. The dog had learned Tony's work rhythms and knew when not to interfere with him. But something was different tonight. At 11:45 p.m., Edison suddenly stood up. The dog was normally asleep at night, but now he was completely awake. His eyes were locked on the far corner of the laboratory, his ears perked up, and his nostrils flared. Tony didn't notice Edison's behavior. The new arc reactor prototype was too important. This technology could make fossil fuels completely unnecessary and stop climate change. He had devoted all his attention to holographic models, solving physics equations in his mind. Edison slowly moved away from Tony's work area. The dog stepped towards the storage area in the farthest corner of the laboratory. Here were Tony's old prototypes, unused technological parts, and archived projects. And he stopped. Edison remained motionless in front of an empty area in the middle of the storage space, where nothing existed. The dog was intensely staring at that point, acting as if there was something invisible but dangerous there. He began to make a low, almost inaudible growling sound. As the night progressed, Edison's behavior became even stranger. The dog continued to stay at that same spot, but now he was tensing more noticeably. His fur had started to stand on end slightly. His tail had dropped down. Tony decided to take a break at 12:30 a.m. Friday, put systems into sleep mode, he said, rubbing his eyes. Of course, sir. Edison's heart rate is 40% higher than normal. He's showing signs of stress. Tony was surprised. You're monitoring Edison? Yes, sir. All living beings are included in the health tracking protocol. Tony looked at Edison. The dog was still staring at the same spot, but now there was also slight trembling. Hey, buddy, what's wrong? He said, approaching his dog. Edison noticed Tony but didn't move. He just pointed to that empty spot with his eyes as if trying to say there's something there. Tony looked in the direction Edison was pointing. There was nothing there. Just empty metal floor, wall, and a few old equipment boxes. Maybe you're tired, said Tony, petting the dog's head. But Edison didn't relax. Tony decided to take Edison's persistence seriously. In 3 years, the dog had never behaved this way. He had always been calm, reliable, and predictable. Friday, are there any anomalies in this area? He asked, pointing to the spot Edison was indicating. Starting scan, said the AI. Retractable sensors from the laboratory ceiling became active, beginning to analyze the area in detail. Interesting, said Friday a few seconds later. There's very slight electromagnetic activity in this area, almost undetectable level. Tony's eyebrows furrowed. Electromagnetic activity? There are no active devices there. Correct, sir, but there are very weak signals coming from underground. Estimated depth 3 to 4 meters. Edison became even more restless upon hearing Friday's explanation. The dog was now clearly panicking, unable to stay in place, constantly pointing to that spot. Tony began to think. When he bought this villa, the real estate agent had never mentioned any lower levels or secret rooms. But in Malibu, especially in this area, he knew there were old military facilities and research laboratories. Friday researched the construction history of this villa, especially the 1940 to 1980 period. Researching, sir, said the AI. Edison was still standing in the same place, but now he was continuously growling softly. 2 minutes later, Friday's voice was heard again. I found interesting information. This area was a secret Stark Industries research facility between 1962 to 1978. Project name, Tesseract Energy Experiments. All files are classified. Tony's face went white. Tesseract. One of the most dangerous projects his father had worked on. Experiments aimed at understanding and using the energy of the space cube. These experiments were so dangerous that the project was suspended and all material was safely destroyed. Friday, do a radiation scan, now. Sensors performed a more detailed scan. The results were horrifying. Sir, high levels of gamma radiation detected underground at 4 meters depth. Level dangerous to human health. Edison's behavior now made sense. The dog was sensing radiation that humans couldn't detect. Tony immediately activated emergency protocols. Friday, put the laboratory into full isolation mode. Shut down ventilation systems. Call the emergency radiation team. Right away, sir, said the AI. Metal panels emerging from the laboratory walls completely sealed the area. Edison calmed down a bit when he saw Tony's emergency actions. The dog seemed to understand that the danger had been noticed. Tony put on his special radiation protection suit and took Edison to a safe area. You're an amazing dog, he said, petting Edison. You protected us from a great danger. At 2 a.m., the special radiation cleanup team arrived. Underground, there really were Tesseract energy remnants from his father's old laboratory. Over the years, containment systems had deteriorated and radiation had started leaking. If we had delayed another week, said the team leader, this radiation level would have been dangerous for the entire neighborhood. The next morning, Tony was sitting in his laboratory with Edison. The radiation was cleaned up, the danger had passed, but what Edison had done still puzzled them. Friday researched dogs' radiation detection abilities. Sir, dogs' olfactory system is 10,000 times more powerful than humans. They can also sense electromagnetic fields, infrasonic vibrations, and some types of radiation. Edison probably smelled the chemical changes caused by gamma radiation. Tony looked at Edison with admiration. So you detected a danger with your nose that my billion-dollar sensors couldn't catch? Edison wagged his tail as if saying, yes, I was surprised too. This incident gave Tony an idea for new technology. A hybrid security system that combined animal intuition with technology. Friday, start new project, biotech security system. We'll design an early warning system that combines Edison's intuition with technological sensors. For weeks, Tony and Edison worked together. AI algorithms that analyzed Edison's behavior patterns converted the dog's danger instincts into digital data. This technology, said Tony in an interview, can detect not only radiation but gas leaks, structural weaknesses, even seismic activity in advance. Edison showed me that sometimes the most advanced technology can create miracles when combined with natural intuition. When Edison's story leaked to the media, it received great interest worldwide. He began to be known as Stark's tech dog, and the biotech security system began to be used in hospitals, nuclear facilities and research laboratories. Dr. Maya Hansen, a bioengineering expert, evaluated the system. What Edison did created a paradigm shift in the scientific world. We now view animal intuition as serious security technology. The American Veterinary Association awarded Edison the Science Dog of the Year award. But none of this mattered to Edison. He was just happy to have protected the person he loved. Today, Edison officially holds the title of Chief Security Consultant at Stark Industries. He has a special ID card, security badge, and his own laboratory area. During each of Tony's new projects, Edison is also present. The dog is now accepted not just as a pet, but as a real scientific partner. Edison taught me, says Tony, that even the most sophisticated technology cannot replace millions of years of evolutionary intuition. True innovation lies in combining technology with natural ability. At Stark Industries' new headquarters, Edison's special office is located at the heart of the laboratory. The dog works on Tony's new projects every day, while also supervising security protocols. Thanks to Edison's intuition, 12 potential accidents have been prevented so far. From radiation leaks to gas leaks, electrical failures to structural problems, Edison's early warning system has saved countless lives. As technology advances, says Tony, petting Edison, natural intelligence also evolves with us. Edison didn't just find a danger from the past, he laid the foundation for future security systems. And Edison, wagging his tail, shows that he's ready for the next discovery, because real science begins where curiosity never ends. "Are you ready, buddy?" asks Tony, starting on a new prototype. Edison's answer is clear: always ready.